It's fourth quarter,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
State championship football game.
State championship football game, yep.
Who's the ball going to?
The ball, I'm telling coach to throw it to me.
Every time it's going to you.
It has to, because I want it. I don't feel the pressure. I thrive through that clutch, that ice in the vein, that little moment when everyone's standing up going, yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? I thrive on it.
This is a documentary about John Ferrelli, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. John Ferrelli was probably the best athlete that I've ever seen come out of Winnicott High School. John hated to lose more than he liked to win. That was the greatest thing about John. And he was tough kid. You got to remember, John played the line, defensive line in football, and he was way undersized. And he was just so tough. He barely could walk off the field when he was done in most games.
So what's the first thing that comes to mind when I say John Ferrelli?
John Ferrelli? The kid was a hell of an athlete. The best attribute of John, he didn't care about the touchdowns, the sacks, or getting the girls. He did get all three of those things, if you want to call it that. But John knew if he wanted to be one of the best football players to walk through our high school, the emphasis had to be on the win column. I really just think that speaks to John as a football player. He would go out there every single Friday night and go to war for his brothers. He was the definition of a true competitor.
And I called those games, so I was up in the booth. I was calling that for television, so I would make these points on TV about how great John was. And I used to watch this kid, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. He definitely hated to lose. And I watched him one time at a wrestling match at Winnicott High School, and he fell asleep in the stands waiting for his next match. They jumped up, ran out, and pinned the kid. Actually went asleep and jumped up and ran out and pinned the kid. It was phenomenal. He's an old school player. He's old school. He reminds me of the kids that I played with back in the day,
I had the opportunity to coach John Ferrelli for several years on several different baseball teams, and I always loved coaching John, one, because he was a tremendous athlete. You could put Johnny anywhere in the field, and Johnny would just overachieve. The other reason I love Johnny is he always gave 110%. I mean, the kid had a passion to win, a passion for the game. But sometimes his passion was a little bit overboard, and some folks got uncomfortable with how passionate he was. I remember there was a fly ball hit to center field, and the shortstop's running out, and Johnny comes running in, and there was no way he was missing that ball. And he runs into the shortstop, catches the ball, gets up, starts screaming, yeah! I'm like, Johnny, shut the fuck up. You just broke the shortstop's leg. And the kid's getting carried off the field. But Johnny, he caught the ball, and he made sure everybody knew he caught the ball. But Johnny's passion for the game, better than anything I've ever seen. One of the best athletes I've ever seen coming out of Winnicott High School.
So would you say John Ferrelli is the most dominant athlete to come out of Winnicott High School?
Well, that could very well be the case, but I don't think John's the type of person that would tell you that.
Would you consider yourself the most dominant athlete at Winnicott?
Yes.
You think about backyard sports, he's the clear-cut first pick every time. The moment that I realized, this kid's legit was in the pool. I mean, you want to talk battles, you want to talk wars. Those games put you, they test a person, okay? When you're drowning in the deep end of the pool, who's the kid that's literally going to let himself die to get the possession? That's Tex Ferrelli. That's Tex Ferrelli. I think that everyone in the league can say no one put their body through more than the kid.
What really defines him as a person is the time that I'm sitting in my house, I'm looking out the window doing some homework, pouring snow, and I see this kid. He's wearing so many layers of sweat clothes. He looks like he's obese. He's got a trash bag over him, sweat beating down his face, and he's just running. Looks like there's no end in sight.
Turns out it was John running all the way from the Arms to Little Jacks and back in order to cut weight for his wrestling match the next day. Nobody had the heart like John did.
Well, straight out of the womb, we knew John was going to be an athlete. He came out running, yelling, screaming, throwing footballs, catching baseballs, single leg takedowns. Senior year, football, John. Special year. Senior captain. All state. Never did win me that state title. A little disappointed on that. But the offers just flooded in. I mean, it was unbelievable. I mean, we had offers from Auburn, Oregon, Alabama. It was just nonstop. But at the end of the day, there was one school that stood out.